Hello everybody and welcome back to this second little extra or long video, I should more say. Today we're talking about my camera setup for when I'm recording macro. I feel like today I've upgraded the setup to a point where I don't see anything more necessary to be upgraded, because today I got a new tripod and a new lamp. So I will just walk through how my setup looks. I mean, this is one heck of a lens and one heck of everything. This right here is my old flame, so we're not going to talk about that. I mean, we may as well. But today I have this new massive recording setup. And now my fiance is currently holding the phone, and in a second she will leave and I'll go a bit more into detail for every single component of the camera. But for now I just want to show you how it works. So this is my main camera, the Canon EOS 90D, and it has a 100mm macro lens and a extended ×2. Now, of course, you don't need this for when you're starting recording macro. And what I did over the years, I'll just start with talking about this, I guess. What I did over the years was, in 2019, I think, I got an old Canon EOS camera from my brother for very cheap because he didn't want it anymore. Back then, I got this 100mm macro lens right here, this lens. So this one is from 2019, I think. In 2020, I then upgraded the camera itself to this Canon EOS 90D, and then in 2020 I got this extender. And yeah, I just want to say I haven't bought all of this at once. I've slowly upgraded over the years, and you should definitely do the same thing if you are on a budget. You can also just choose to record on your phone if that's what you like. I've recorded a little bit on my phone, and the new phones actually do a very good job at this. But today I just want to share my entire setup. And yeah, so this right here is of course the camera. And today I have got this new fantastic tripod. Now you can see I haven't even taken it off. This is a Manfrotto. I'm not too sure. You can see this logo. This is their logo. But I've just got this today. I had an old tripod that worked just fine for taking still images and taking still videos. But the thing with this lens is it's very heavy because it's such a long lens. So the thing with this is you can actually put where you want the I don't know what you say, but where you want the weight to be. So my old camera lens was a little bit like this, so every time I didn't hold it, I had to do like this, control it, and it was a very cheap lens, I don't know, $20, something like that. This is of course a lot more expensive, but the reason I have upgraded, as you can see, it's very smooth to drive around with. It makes for some very smooth shots while I'm recording the ants. I say this like I know what I'm gonna do. But I know with my old tripod it wasn't like that. It was almost like this all the time, so it ruined like half my shots because I don't know what it's called, but it didn't look smooth. Now this problem has really been solved by this. Now you can really see yeah, I'm a really big fan of this. But the second thing I got today, and the most important thing that has really just changed my life of macro photography, is this insane new light. Now this right here is my first official professional item in my entire YouTube career. This is the Aputure. Let me just see if I can turn it around. How do I do that? Aputure 120D2. So this is the new version. It is completely mind-blowing. But before, I've used very cheap lights like these, and I will show a comparison for how they look later on in the video, because this one is very cheap. It has worked fine, but the problem is, with this lens, you need a lot of light. With this lens, you need an insane amount of light. Of course, if you just have a normal, the normal not macro lens, this is just fine. But when you have this machine right here, you just can't record without an insane amount of light. So if we just show a little bit, you can see if the fiance just come a little bit closer, you can see right here, this is actually set up for my new light. But if we just use the old light, I mean, is this even? Yeah, it is open. You can see a little bit here. You can see the ants, but they are very dark. They are just black. Now, if I turn this new light off, you can see we get a lot more light. And you can just see this. You can just see everything here. This is very bright. So this, of course, does not it cannot be close to the ants because that's when you have some problems. But you can see when I'm then recording, of course I'm not recording now, but I have these very smooth motions and I'm able to go around, follow the focus and whatever. Now it's really amazing if we go into the funky chamber right here where you can see everything being worked on. And what is really insane is this is only at ISO of 800, whereas if we just use my old lamp, turn the new lamp off and use the old lamp, you can't even see, you can't even see anything. It's very, not, it's turned on now, turned off, turned on, turned off. Very insane, and I'm really, it's insane. It blows me away how bright this is, and I'm really looking forward to making videos because the biggest problem is 100% the insane amount of light you need. Now, over here, this light holder right here is still a very cheap product. It's meant for the hanging lights I have in the ceiling. The ceiling lights are very cheap as well. Also why they don't even give any lights that can, they give the same amount of light as this one right here does, so nothing pretty much. And yeah, it's also a cheap stand, but it works. So yeah, and yeah, I'm not really sure. I think I've said a lot of what I wanted to say. I just want to give a little general look of how my setup looks. Again, this is a Canon EOS 90D. You don't need to get this camera. You can get a way cheaper camera, but what this does is it allows 4K and it allows 24 frames per second with 4K. Ideally, I do want a new camera in a few years' time that can do 60 frames per second and 4K. But like I try to upgrade a little bit over the time so it isn't as expensive. Today, I just probably spent more money on my equipment due to this beast than I've done the past then since I got this camera house. And all of these components are very expensive, but the thing is I buy them over time, so it isn't as expensive. And that's what I wanna end the video with saying. I mean, I don't know if I'm ending it now, but you can very easily just use a phone and use a phone macro lens. That is totally acceptable, and a lot of people is doing it, and it's just fine. You can get some brilliant quality. Now I really want to try to tell a story with my videos more and more and more. I'm now starting to write scripts, and I want to get the shots. And to get very close to the ends, you just can't. As with what I think is, you just can't really do it with a phone because you don't have the manual focus like this lens. You have the manual focus where you can focus on everything. And to be honest, this is with the new light, and I'm very in love with both this new tripod. I've had so much struggles with my old tripod,